Test, test.
Can you hear all the dogs in the background?
Yeah. So.
And we're live.
What's up, guys? So Adam's behind the camera right now. I asked him if he wanted to be front man for a moment, and he said he don't have a hat on.
No, see, I don't wear a hat, so I don't not on camera if I'm not a hat.
Hair's a little messy. So we come back here today because you know, question is why did I choose to build an International Loadstar? Why? Simple. Couple reasons. One, they're cheap and they're plentiful. A lot of guys had them, a lot of farmers had them. They was used for logging trucks, they was used for all kinds of stuff. If you look around on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, you can find one. You can buy them for around $1,000, $15 around this area, something like that. So but it goes a little deeper than that for me. So I've heard my grandpa Don talk about having a couple of them, but the one that really sticks to my mind is this one. This one actually belongs to our uncle, and we've seen it growing up several times throughout the years. This well drilling rig actually belonged to my grandfather at one point in time, and my uncle and my dad and my grandfather all worked on this truck and used it to drill wells. And Dad's got a lot of stories, and Uncle AJ's got some stories from them operating this thing and being out on it. And for some reason, this nose, this body style, just always was attractive to me. And I don't know if it's because I remember this from my childhood, but I wanted to build a medium duty truck, and there was no doubt what truck I wanted to build. So if you guys want to, we'll take a trip around the truck here and kind of look at the old well drilling truck and see a few things about it.
Yeah, there's some guard dogs barking in the background. That's just where we are. So
one thing to note is our truck that we're building will not have one of these. All that is a big stabilization jack, because this is a well drilling rig. So the hydraulics, and they would run this down and, you know, stabilize the front end of the truck, sometimes pick it up off the ground to get the truck level so they could do what they needed to do with it.
yeah, I've seen it up off the front end, off the ground.
This is an 1800. Ours we're building is a 1600. This one is an 1800. It is a twin screw, so it's got 2 drive axles in the rear, and they are both drives. And I don't know if this, I know the door on the other side I think opens, but this truck's been sitting for years now. It's no longer in operation, but boards are kind of rotted. It's just a neat old truck, and anybody that knows anything about well drilling rigs, it's got its own power unit back here, so it was not powered off of the front of the truck. This truck has a 392 in it, and there's a story behind how it got that 392 and how they got this truck. Got your hydraulic jacks in the rear to stabilize the back of it. You got your little drop gate and everything, and your controls. And this whole tower.
Oh shit!
What?
All right, so
Adam,
we had a little guard dog scare there for a second. I thought he was going to eat me. He didn't know who we were because we're not back here very often. Whew. All right, so let's move on. Back on the well drilling rig.
So, don't know where I left off at. Had an exciting moment there. This right here actually come down, and that tower raised up in the air, and the cable would drop the bit and pick the bit up and drill that way. And actually the cable that me and Dad used to log year before last on drag couple trees out, AJ brought it down. It was the original cable off of this truck, and it's laying at the garage right now. The one that Dad and them had years ago. If you look here, this right here is where the important part is, right here. You can't hardly see it anymore, but should be an EW there. Matthews Well Drilling.
There was some on the other side as well, but it's the same. You can't read it anymore. It's just pieces of letters.
So Dad and AJ both can witch wells, which means they can use sticks, or actually they use dowel rods to find places where there's water, and they would drill a well based off witching for where to drill at.
That's like a lost art form anymore.
And it just, right there's your part of your bit right there. You can see where it's hooked on the end there, and the bit would actually go on the end of that tube. And I don't know where all the stuff's at now, and some of it may not be here. AJ might put some of it up, but it's just a neat old piece of history that is sitting here. And as usual with most Loadstars, I wouldn't step on that. But yeah, that one's still open. It's seen a few better days, but if you'll notice, there's 2 gear shifts there. And this was interesting to me when I come back here and seen it. Is that if you look underneath, you can see right there, there's a second transmission. So when Dad was with Papaw working on this truck, he said, you know, couldn't really get up to highway speeds, and sometimes getting in and out of places, you know, there's a lot of weight on this rig when it's fully loaded with everything needed to drill wells. And so AJ put the second transmission on it, which I think it's got an overdrive, and it allowed him to have a higher highway gear, but getting in and out and off the road and getting where he was going to drill your well at, you could really get down in low gears, so you had plenty of power to move it around in rough terrain, because there's a lot of weight here when you get all your equipment on here. And they had this area loaded with cross ties and for rigging. So it's just a really neat old truck, and it's just something, like I said, that drew me towards wanting to build a Loadstar. And so I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there that have a project going because it's something you remember from your childhood, or maybe something you remember from your teenage years, and that's why you want to keep it around. But this is why I decided to build an International Loadstar, because of this truck here, because this is one that even set up to our house that Mom and Dad built years ago for a while, because we was trying to drill a well up there. But if you guys would like to hear some stories about this truck and how it came to be and how the whole conversion happened, because it got pieced and parted together a little bit, let us know. Comment below. We'll try and see if we can't get Dad or AJ or both of them to sit down and kind of give us a little history on this truck. And I would say we'd try and revive this one, but really it's in such bad shape that it's probably doing what it needs to do right now, and that's just sit here and kind of remind us as much as possible of what it used to be.
Well, you never know, you might find a piece off of this one you can put on yours just to have.
Now that is a thought. Might have to talk to AJ about that. Make one little thing that might be still good on somewhere.
Yeah.
But guys, if you like this type of video or what we've done here, just kind of coming back and giving a little lineage to our projects and a little lineage of our past of what our family used to do, let us know. Comments below, and like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. We appreciate you guys watching. But thanks for taking a little trip back in the past with us.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.